What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, in the spirit of what hopefully is still the early stages of a bull run, and during the week of a massive green candle for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the crypto market, I thought it'd be fun to talk about SPS and at least a bullish topic about SPS and why it's designed, in theory, and that's an important part, in theory, to go up forever. Now, there's a couple of assumptions that we need to make or bake into this, we'll call it, and that is that either the team or anybody who wants to build within the ecosystem of tokens, primarily SPS and DEC, because that's the whole flywheel, anybody who wants to build within that can provide continuous value and utility to the DEC token, and actually to the SPS token. But what's nice is that through the flywheel, so where you burn SPS for DEC, we can have that be direct or indirect utility going back to SPS for forever, essentially, right? We get new sets, we get new games, we get new mini games, we get land, whatever it is, all that stuff starts to play in, and you get that utility that translates over. Now, here's the interesting part. So what it comes down to is how many people are here playing the game because they love to play the game, meaning that they're holding a certain amount of SPS that they will never let go until maybe it reaches some ridiculously high threshold for them. And I'm trying to be very specific about this because I think there's still a lot of speculators. I mean, it is crypto after all, but I do know that there's a lot of players out there that are holding a decent bag of SPS that probably have no intentions of selling. And I'll tell you what, for myself, this is the only example that I can give with any kind of confirmation, just because it's me. I want to be able to play the game at the level that I'm playing, right? Gold and, gold/diamond, we'll call it, have the multiplier, be able to earn the cards, earn the chests, and have a little bragging rights. So there's like a portion of the SPS that I have. Maybe it's all of the SPS that I have, right? Whatever it is, the number is X, right? So it's going to be X for everybody, and everybody's X is going to be different. But there's a number that I have that I would never consider selling because I enjoy the game, and I want to always play the game unless, of course, things get absolutely crazy. Everybody's got a number that they'll sell. But the thing is, I haven't even thought about what that number is for that specific portion of SPS, meaning that portion of SPS for me and the portion of SPS for many other players in the ecosystem, that's kind of locked for a very, very long time. Do I have some extra that I might sell off the top? Absolutely. And I talk about taking ice cream money all the time. But in terms of the game aspect, right, of what I'm getting in terms of my reward multipliers, there's a portion that I would always like to hold on to. And I'm sure it's the same for everybody else. Now, that's difficult to quantify because it's not a static number necessarily, meaning that, one, it's not the same for everybody. Not everybody has the same number or the threshold that they'll sell at. Not everybody has the same amount of SPS, right? They might have it tiered out. And, at the end of the day, some people are still just kind of speculating on the token rather than, really trying to hold it for the long term because they enjoy playing the game. Now, the cool part is, with the rank battles, right? So you have SPS staked for that. There's going to be some type of SPS staking requirement for land as well, which is going to be another mini game. Soul Keep, hopefully at some point we're going to get Soul Keep. There was already a proposal vote that was put out last year to set up the way that you could delegate stake and delegate SPS specifically for that game, meaning that that's going to have direct SPS utility too. So, and who knows what other cool things we might get in the future, right? That'll all add to this. So as we go through time, and I don't mean to say that, SPS is going to go forever and it's a straight line up. It's absolutely not. We are definitely going to go through boom and bust cycles. And I don't even know what the time frame is here, but let's just say it's 10 plus years, right? At the minimum, I'm talking about this from design from a very long-term perspective. What ends up happening is that as we go through these cycles, right? Boom, bust, hopefully it's higher highs, higher lows as we go throughout. What ends up happening is that we just continuously burn SPS for DEC. Now, the efficacy of that starts to decrease. The higher the value of SPS is, the less you technically need to burn in order to get the same amount of dollar value of DEC. But again, if we assume that the utility provided to DEC is unlimited, right? And what I mean by that is that the team or anybody that wants to build and develop within the Splinterlands ecosystem will continuously give us cool things that we want to do, that we want to buy, that we want to spend our money, and specifically DEC on, right? So again, we're making that assumption there. As long as that continues to happen, we continue to burn SPS. And the amount of SPS continues to decline and decline and decline. So right now, there's obviously still a ton of SPS out there. We're minting, probably anywhere between 600,000 to a million. I still don't know what this number is, right? But it's definitely a lot of SPS that we're still minting. But we have burned almost 4% of the total supply, right? Of the total 3 billion, we're almost at 120 million burned. And I would say we're still relatively early on in this flywheel process. Land just launched, right? 1.5, but it's not even the 2.0. We have all these different kinds of, hopefully cool utility coming to DEC with cosmetics, and who knows what the team has for the new player experience. Hopefully new players coming in, right? Also, any kind of new sets that come out in the future, mini sets, promo cards, all that stuff can require DEC. So once we eat through all of the extra SPS, and maybe that means even going through all the way to the end of the SPS emissions, which is going to last anywhere from another 2.5 to 5 years, what ends up happening is that all of a sudden there's none left. So the price starts to rise, right? You start to get this supply shock to the system, or really just like a squeeze on the system, and you start hitting people's thresholds, right? So it's like, oh, okay, SPS hits, I don't know, 30 cents. This is not a prediction, right? None of this is financial advice, but let's say SPS hits 30 cents, and then you have a player who's like, oh, you know what? I think I want to sell 10% of my SPS at 30 cents. So all of a sudden that becomes liquid now, right? They put that out there, they take that profit, they go buy themselves a yacht, whatever it is, right? Or buy some ice cream, whatever it is that they're gonna do. But then we eat through that. Then SPS slowly starts to make its way up to 40. And all of a sudden you have a new, slew of players who are just like, oh, you know what, 40 cents, I think I want to take some profit here. And so my whole point is that we continue to do this over time, slowly and steadily. And again, not straight up, but going up, back down, up higher, then back down, hopefully, with a higher low, although, we really can't tell what's going to happen. But again, everybody's going to be at this different threshold. And so it's like until it hits the threshold point where nobody wants to get rid of it because we all want to continue playing, that would be an interesting moment in time. Now, is that going to happen this year or next year? No, probably not, right? Might not even happen this decade. But my whole point is that the way that the tokenomics are designed is that people will start to feel the scarcity of SPS, and they'll say, yeah, my SPS is trading for $100 right now. I could sell one, but I really don't want to, because I want to have this much. I want to be on this leaderboard. I want to be able to earn these kinds of rewards, right? So again, this is all in theory, but it's actually really interesting, right? And again, it's designed in a similar way to pretty much every other crypto out there. And we'll just point to Big Daddy Bitcoin as like, okay, people want to collect Bitcoin, but what Bitcoin doesn't have is this burning mechanism that comes in where the amount of Bitcoin ends up decreasing somewhat naturally with utility, right? And again, I'm not saying SPS is better than Bitcoin. Nothing is better than Bitcoin. Okay, I'm a Bitcoin maxi at the end of the day. All I'm trying to say is that there's other ways in which you can manipulate the economy, and not in a bad way, right? You can manipulate the economy by adding cool types of value and utility. And people will be able to do this with Bitcoin too. It's just we're not going to be burning Bitcoin. But, the fact is that we started with 3 billion SPS. We're already down to 2.9, or actually less than 2.9 million. And as we continue to go through, you're going to see SPS burn for DEC every single day, or, every other couple of days. So again, as we go along, we're just going to see SPS continue to become more and more scarce. So this will be a fun thing to follow as we go along. Maybe in a year, 2, 5, 10 years, it'll be fun to come back to this video and see where it all started, right? I'd say we're relatively still at the beginning. But as long as the team and, at some point in the future, I think community developers will be able to add some value and build within the Splinterlands ecosystem of tokens. I think that, in theory, it sounds really nice, and I just hope that in practice, it ends up being the same. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all I have for you guys in this video. Just trying to share a little bullish sentiment out there as we are now less than 70 days, less than 69, 68, something like that days from the Bitcoin halving, which should hopefully lead to a ton of fun this summer, later this year, and of course, 2025. But that's all I have. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.